Guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Ian at All Adventure Scotland. On episode 4 of my 4-part mini-series on paddleboarding for beginners. And episode 4 we're going to be concentrating on packing the kit on, stacking it up for the more expedition or adventure type stuff that we're going to be doing. We'll talk about the kit and equipment, and then loading the board up and getting it out in the water and cracking on your adventure. If you enjoy my channel, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Let's get after it. So yeah, you've got out on your paddleboard, you're enjoying life, you're getting good. You want to start being a wee bit more adventurous and getting out there and enjoying camping side of life, maybe around the lochs and setting up camp on some islands and stuff like that, or travelling down rivers, canals, whatever. You're going to need to carry a little bit more kit and equipment. What I will say is, obviously from a safety aspect, loop lines, carabiners, dry bags are going to become your new best friend when you start going out to adventure stuff. So again, the kit and equipment you can pick up everywhere these days when it comes to doing adventure stuff. For myself, Big Carry More Adventure Bag Series, yeah, it's not completely 100% waterproof, but everything inside is dry bagged and waterproofed. And then these things can be picked up relatively cheap now as well. Good quality, hard wearing, 100% waterproof dry bags. And then again, we'll talk more about my adventure setup as we go through it. But yeah, point said, I go for the Peak UK, loads of pockets on here. I'll keep things like my phone, my wallet, all my personal belongings, car keys and all that, again, individually dry bagged up in the pouches, because again, the actual buoyancy itself, even though it's got pockets, it's not 100% waterproof. And then I've got an extra loop line carabiner on there, so either as a rescue rope or for tying stuff down. And again, I've got one attached to the back of the board as well. The boards can be set up completely different as to how you want to load your kit on, but most of the time, front and back, you've got the bungee cord style set up to get your kit on and secured properly. So yeah, the point said, personal belongings, again, all individually waterproofed, will go on the vest itself, along with all my kind of camera gear as well. On the front of the board, so I'll try and balance the weight evenly throughout the board, but the more heavy stuff I'll put in the front. Reason for that is when I'm out in the lochs and stuff and it can be quite choppy, it's far easier for me to adjust my weight towards the back of the board than coming forward on it. So it will be slightly heavier at the front if need be. My setup basically then for the front of the board, I'm going to be carrying all my my personal stuff. So if you're a bit OCD like myself, okay, I've got my fire starting kit and some tools in there. So I'm a little entrenching tool, which is double-edged. It's got a shovel on one side and a kind of pick edge on the other side for digging in and starting fires. All my warm kit, woolly hat, my gloves, most important part of the kit. My spare clothes and my towels, so if I come off the water for the day and I have been in and I'm soaking wet, I'll do a dry wet routine. I'll get my wetsuit and stuff off, and then I'll get into some nice warm kit, and I've got some Gore-Tex in there as well, need be. And then obviously my sleeping bag itself, again, everything individually dry bagged up within this bag. My washing kit, first aid kit, again, all nice and neatly packed away. I've got some wet wipes in there, anaesthetic wipes, small first aid kit, spare torch and some batteries and stuff. And then cooking, and then for cleaning my cooking stuff as well, I've got a jet boil in there. That's good enough for me. That will make just about anything I want in it. If I want to be a wee bit more adventurous, depending on how long you're going away for, if you're going away with family, you might want to take a little bit more. But jet boil suffices for me, and I've got my little mini frying pan in there as well, just for starting a fire if I want to cook up some meat or whatever. Obviously not included in this is the kind of food and stuff I'd be carrying as well, but that would all go in here as well. I like a bit of home comfort, so this is a 5 metre windbreak, and it just, if you're on a little island somewhere, you get a bit of wind coming in, and you've been out all day and you're freezing cold. I've got my, it's a tent pole style setup for a windbreak, and that just encloses my tent as I go. Depending on what tent you're taking, but obviously if I'm going out with the family, I'm going to be taking a decent sized tent. So that's a 4-man tent, and it fits in there, not a problem. As a keen fisherman, I like to take along my little mini telescopic fishing rod. just for something to do, and obviously if I'm lucky I'll catch myself some dinner as well. And I've got enough lures and stuff in there to see me through. So that's my little addition as a little home comfort, and it's just a little nice addition to have when I'm out camping on the lochs and stuff in Scotland. So yeah, again, all fits into the one bag, and because I've individually dry bagged packed it, each individual dry bag becomes its own little buoyancy aid. So if the bag did go in the water for whatever reason, became detached from the board for whatever reason, it would float in itself, so it would be easily to be retractable and get it back. So yeah, that's the main kind of the bulk of the stuff that I need to carry. That would be loaded up onto the front of the board. So onto the back of the board then, in there I've got my roll mats. I've got an additional military style poncho that I can put up as an extra layer of protection, or an extra canopy if it's absolutely hoofing it down with the rain or whatever and I've set up camp for the night. I've got some spare towels in there, and then most importantly a spare paddle. If you don't want to get into the lochs, especially here in Scotland, you go out into the lochs, you lose your paddle, you can't retract it, it hasn't floated for whatever reason, spare paddle is a must. So again, that'll go into the rear of the bag, all nice squared, wrapped away, and again, because it's a fully enclosed dry bag, it will float as well, so no problems there. And then lastly, going on to the centre of the board then, I've talked about this before, I've bastardised my motorcycle tank bag, strapped it onto the centre of the board, and that just sits on there nice and neat at the front of me. In here I've got all my my drone stuff, again some more valuable stuff, anything I need direct access to, and that just sits there in front of me. I've also got the laminate cover in the front of it, which is again completely waterproof, and I can stick any mapping or anything in there that I need to get in there as well. So loads of little pockets, loads of room in it as well, and it just sits on there, not a problem, and it is pretty well secured as well. So that's my kind of setup. That's the kind of kit and equipment I carry, maybe for a 2 or 3 day paddle out in the lochs and I'm doing overnight camps and stuff. Again, if I'm taking family members with me, my son or my daughter or whatever, then I'll be carrying a little bit more kit. But again, the board will take the weight, not a problem. Just make sure you balance it out evenly. And again, for my personal preference, I'll put any heavier stuff towards the front of the board, because it's not all the way in the front, it's kind of sent 3/4 of the way down. It's easier for me to shift my weight backwards just to bring it out the water that little bit if it is a bit choppy in lochs or whatever. So yeah, let's get it set up and see what it looks like. So guys, that's pretty much the setup I've got going on there. I've got the heavier bag to the front there. It's got all my camping stuff and spare clothes, etc. in it. And then in the centre there, I've got my motorcycle tank bag strapped on, all my drone stuff, spare batteries, personal kit would go in there that's left over. Obviously my paddle's on there, buoyancy aid's good to go, and then on the rear I've got my other dry bag with all my roll mats and towels, spare paddle and stuff in it. So that's pretty much the setup there, good to go. Again, it's up to yourself if you want to, I would suggest if you wanted to load this up, you would get your board into the water first and then load it up. If it's unachievable to do that, then you just have it good to go and then get somebody to carry it down with you. But that's pretty much my setup there for the more adventure style of paddle.